this is Miss Lewis again. I teach at Marion Elementary in 4th grade, and now we are going to be doing some math together. The easiest way that I figured that we could do this, because when I tried to video where you could see me, the words were backwards and the numbers, and that could get very confusing. So I'm going to switch around. We are, there we go. We are going to be learning about subtracting mixed numbers with like denominators. So when I teach my kiddos at school, there are 2 different scenarios when subtracting mixed numbers with like denominators. So the first one is the easiest, and I tell the kids to look and see if you can subtract the fractions. So can we subtract 3/4 and 1/4? Yes, because our numerator is greater than our second numerator. So we always start with our whole numbers. So 3 minus 2 is going to give us 1. Okay, and 3/4 minus 1/4 is going to give us 2/4. Okay, because 3 minus 1 is 2, and we always keep our denominators the same. Now, I know what you're thinking. A lot of my kids go, well, Miss Lewis, what if it's not where you can subtract 3/4 minus 1/4? What if it is something a little different? Well, we're going to go over how you do that too. Okay, so say we have a problem that is 4 and let's do 1/3 minus 1 and 2/3. Okay, so I tell my kids, can you subtract the fractions? 1/3 minus 2/3? No, you can't do it, right? Like we can't take 1 away from 2. Or excuse me. And so what we need to do is we need to turn these mixed numbers into improper fractions. Now, mixed numbers, what are those? Mixed numbers are like 4 and 1/3. A mixed number is when you have a whole number and a fraction together. So you can think of it as you and your mom are going out to the store, right? Your mom would be the whole number because she's an adult. She's a whole adult, right? And you're not quite an adult yet. You're just part of one. So you're a fraction, right? They always stay together when you go into the store, okay? So, but we need to turn them into improper fractions, okay? To do that, we are going to multiply our denominator by our whole number and add the numerator. So in this case, it would be 3 times 4 is going to give us 12. Add 1 is going to be 13. So 13 over 3, because our denominator is going to stay the same. Now we're going to do that with the other fraction as well. So we're going to multiply our denominator by our whole number and add the numerator. So 3 times 1 is going to give us 3, plus 2 is 5. And remember, we always keep our denominator the same. Now, can we subtract 13/3 minus 5/3? Yes, right? Okay, so if we keep our denominators the same, 13 minus 5 is, 8, correct? So that gives us an answer of 8/3. Now, if you're in my class, you know you are not allowed to keep a fraction improper. And you might be wondering, well, Miss Lewis, how do we know if a fraction is improper or proper? I like to think of it this way. If you ever go out and you see those guys who like to go to the gym and they get super strong and super buff, right? But they hate doing leg day. So they're like super muscles up on top, but they got little bitty itty tiny legs, right? That's like an improper fraction. They're really big in the numerator. Your numerator is larger than the denominator, right? So think of those funny looking guys at the gym with the really big arm muscles and really tiny little legs. That's an improper fraction. Now, to change our improper back to a mixed number, we are going to have to divide. So you can do it the standard algorithm way. 3 will go into 8. How many times? Well, we know that 3 times 2 gives us 6. So 3 times 2 is 6. And we have a remainder of 2. Okay? Now, if you can't do the standard algorithm yet, that's completely fine. You can draw out the dots. 6, 7, 8. Okay? And see how many times you can put them in groups of 3. So there's one group of 3, one group of 3, and then we have 2 left over. So we still have 2 groups, remainder 2. Now, how do we take this math, this equation, and turn it back into a mixed number? Well, we know that we had 2 groups, so 2 is going to become our whole number, okay? Now, our remainder is always going to become our numerator, okay? So that's the number on top. So it's going to become 2. And then whatever we divided by, our original denominator, never changes, right? So it's going to go back up here and become 3. So our answer after all of this work is 2 2/3. So 4 1/3 minus 1 2/3 equal 2 2/3. Right? So, to review, to cap up, we have learned a lot of different words. One of them being a mixed number. A mixed number is any time that we have a whole number and a fraction together. Remember, so this is you and your mom at Walmart. So she is one whole adult and you are just a half adult. You're getting there. Okay? But you always have to stay together because you don't want to get lost. That is a mixed number. Okay? Now, what is an improper fraction? An improper fraction is when your numerator, so if we had 7 halves, okay, your numerator is larger than the denominator, the bottom number, right? So this is improper. And we remember this because those funny guys at the gym, right, with the big arm muscles who skip leg day and they have really tiny itty bitty legs. So we're bigger on top and small on the bottom. So that is an improper fraction. And then a regular old fraction, you might have 3/4, is just considered a proper fraction. Okay, so this has been subtracting mixed numbers with like denominators. When you get in 5th grade is when you start to do it with unlike denominators, but we're not there yet. We still have a little bit to go. If you have any questions about subtracting mixed numbers with like denominators, please Facebook message me or any of the other teachers and we would be more than happy to help you. I hope you have a great day. Stay safe and enjoy your time with your family.